Hey guys, I'm Cain Mack back here for another video. Guys, welcome to the off season. And guys, we look at all 32 teams and we look at possible draft picks, free agents, everything when it comes to each and every single team this off season. Now today we're going to be covering the Buffalo Bills. We already covered the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears in separate videos. Go check them out if you'd like to. It's actually a playlist on the channel. So guys, let's get started right away. First off, we have some news, very interesting news. Vontae Davis ended up signing a one-year deal with the Buffalo Bills. Most likely will be replacing EJ Gaines. So he is going to be a Buffalo Bill. Vontae Davis once free agency comes around, which I believe is on March 14th or March 13th, around that time period. So guys, going right into the offseason, we need to talk about the biggest needs of the Buffalo Bills. Number one is going to be an interesting one because this is actually up in the air at the moment. Currently, they seem like the Buffalo Bills are going to keep Tyrod Taylor in Buffalo. Now, if they do not, they do need a quarterback. If they do, he will be the starter. Now, of course, if they do get rid of him, Nathan Peterman, I'm sorry, my man, but you are not staying in Buffalo as a starter. You might be a backup, and that would be kind of shaky to say that after the games you played, but you would definitely, they're going to need a quarterback if Tyrod leaves. Now, in my opinion, I believe they should keep Tyrod. I mean, he did get them to the playoffs, first time in 20 years, and in general, Tyrod Taylor is not the worst quarterback in the world, especially with the offense they have around Shady McCoy. I think Tyrod could be a very, very nice player. So let's talk about the second most needed position, which I would consider the first most needed, which is wide receivers. They need wide receivers. They brought in Kelvin Benjamin, but outside of him, they don't really have anyone too amazing. So let's go ahead and look at some wide receivers on the market currently. Now, currently, we see right here, Jarvis Landry got franchise tagged. I don't think Buffalo should be trading for Jarvis Landry personally. I think they should be try to target Allen Robinson if I had to be honest. Now, should they bring back Sammy Watkins? I'd stay clear of that whole bandwagon. Honestly, it didn't work out when he was there. Why try to bring him back and then try to make it work out this time? It's not going to work out. Sammy Watkins is not good for Buffalo. So I would probably leave him there and not try to bring him back here. So Allen Robinson is number one. Marquise Lee is always a possibility. Paul Richardson, Terrell Pryor, Mike Wallace, Jordan Matthews, John Brown. To be honest, I would honestly stay clear of all the deep threat speed demons. The John Browns, Mike Wallace is to a certain point. He's kind of more of a old speed demon, but still. Terrell Pryor would actually be a very interesting player to see in Buffalo. I feel like he would really complement Kelvin Benjamin on the other side. And I know he completely was a bust in Washington. And I understand that. But I feel like he might be able to actually work something out in Buffalo. So I would love to see what he could do actually in Buffalo. And see if he could prosper as good as he did in Cleveland. I'm not saying Tyrod Taylor is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying that I feel like he would work better with Tyrod Taylor than a Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, no offense, but he kind of overthrows anyone deep. So, you know, Tyrod Taylor, not the best thrower, but he can throw a deep pass every now and then. All right, so number two most needed position, D tackle. So pretty much D tackle, and then we get into like the defensive line and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and go to the defensive part of this website. And you can see right here, we're starting off with edge defenders, and then we have defensive linemen. And yes, so let's go ahead and start off right away. This is actually a guy that I would love to see in Buffalo, and that's Dontario Poe. They did lose Marcel Darius to the Jaguars last year. And to be honest, I feel like how the defense works and how the defense is structured, Poe would be just a complementary piece to that. I would love to see Poe and Starr be on the same team in Buffalo. I feel like that would just make their defense 100 times better. I know these two are elite defenders, so obvious. But I just feel like for the system they run, it would work out so perfectly with those two guys. So those are the two players I would love to see in Buffalo. Poe and Starr Lututei. And I probably said his name completely wrong. Outside of that, though, they do need some linebackers. That's the next need on the list. So some linebackers, you have Navarro Bowman. We have Zach Brown. We have Avery and Williamson. We have Todd Davis, Preston Brown, and Demario Davis. Now, looking at some of these linebackers, Zach Brown kind of makes me feel like he would do good in Buffalo. I don't feel like Bowman would, to be honest. Now, I know right now the Raiders are trying to re-sign him, but, there's no actual deal being made just yet. Other than that, though, Jarrell Freeman did just get released by the Chicago Bears, so he could go there for maybe not as much money. Again, a lot of these players, what I feel like in a lot of teams do is they're going to sign maybe not the top of the line player, the top of the list. They're going to sign a little bit lower down on the list, maybe the Donnell Ellerbe's, because they're going to get them for a very big discount. And I feel like that's what Buffalo probably will end up doing with a lot of these players. I feel like they're going to spend a lot of money on that big wide receiver or that big, cornerback or someone like that. And they're just going to go ahead and kind of mismanage the money for the rest of the team. So get that playmaker, and then we'll work out some, kind of like backups to sub in. Now, of course, the last need they need is cornerback. They did go ahead and, as you can see, Vontae Davis signed a 1-year deal with Buffalo. They did sign Vontae Davis. EJ Gaines most likely will be leaving. Alan Cavan Cavan, how you say his name, I feel like he would be a great fit for Buffalo. Kyle Fuller would be a great fit for Buffalo. If they can get any of these two players with Vontae Davis paired up, this would really work out if I based on my opinion. So again, Brashard Breeman, I think he was overrated in Washington, so I don't think they should bring him in. But other than that, guys, let's go ahead and look at some mock drafts. So the Buffalo Bills had the 22nd pick. They got that from the Kansas City Chiefs. The second round pick they got from the LA Rams. Third round pick they got from the Philadelphia Eagles. Fourth round is their own. Fifth round they got from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they have no 6th or 7th round picks. So total, they only actually have 5 picks. So they don't have all 7 like most teams. They don't have more than 7 like the Cleveland Browns that have 6,000. They only have 5 picks in this upcoming draft, being the first round pick being the 22nd pick in the draft, again by the Kansas City Chiefs. So I've looked through a lot of different mock drafts, and these are the players that I keep on seeing recurring through all the mock drafts. Like I looked through about 10 to 15 mock drafts, and these are consistently the same players over and over again. We have Marcus Davenport, defensive end. We have Auden Key, defensive lineman from LSU. Josh Jackson, cornerback from Iowa. Deron Payne, D-tackle from Alabama. And Rashard Evans from Alabama. Those are the players I consistently see just over and over again being mentioned, for the Buffalo Bills. Again, I've looked through like 15, 20 different mock drafts, and those are the players that consistently come up. So I'm thinking that's like the general idea, the general public of what people think the Buffalo Bills are going to go ahead and pick up. Now, we do get the scouting combine this upcoming Friday, so hopefully we can go ahead and see some of these players. But again, it's going to be interesting to see. It looks like the general public is saying defensive lineman / or cornerback. So those are the two positions, which again would fit right into the need for the Buffalo Bills, being defensive tackle, defensive lineman, cornerback, and linebacker. Those are the positions they need, so it wouldn't surprise me if they go ahead and draft those positions. So with that in mind, guys, hopefully the Buffalo Bills can change it around this season. I know last season they went from almost not making the playoffs, benching Tyrod Taylor, putting in Nathan Peterman, giving up on the season pretty much, and then they turned it around. Tyrod got them to the playoffs. They lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I feel like this team can honestly go all the way. I feel like a lot of confidence in this team to continue to get better and just go all the way. Now, I know I saw some Buffalo Bill fan that commented and said, do not talk about LaShawn McCoy leaving. Honestly, I do not think they should get rid of LaShawn McCoy. I think they should keep him on the team. I didn't see anything about him leaving. I just saw a couple people saying that they thought LaShawn McCoy was going to leave Buffalo. I'm hoping not, because I think that would be one of the biggest mistakes they ever make. LaShawn McCoy is one of the best halfbacks in the league, so keeping him around and making sure he's on the team and, getting better and better would be what I would suggest for them to, consistently have. Because if they lose him, it's going to all go downhill when it comes to that offense. So again, LaShawn McCoy, Tyrod Taylor, Calvin Benjamin, possibly Terrell Pryor, Charles Clay. Defensively, they got Vontae Davis now. I would add Kyle Fuller and Aaron Cavan. Linebackers, maybe Donnell Ellerbe. Kind of just show it up a little bit. And then in the draft, of course, we have 5 draft picks to go through. So hopefully they can go ahead and make those 5 draft picks and, really just capitalize on every opportunity they get. It's going to be tough next season for Buffalo. When it comes to their schedule, I think their schedule probably will be a little bit more difficult than it was this year, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. Remember, guys, this is going through all 32 NFL teams. So we just did the Buffalo Bills today. Next team we're going to go ahead and do is going to be the Denver Broncos. And we'll go on from there. So with that in mind, peace out, guys.